Welcome to I Wrote This News. Today is Monday, February 21st, 2022. Did I hear you ask me to pass you some news? It would be my pleasure. Today's headline: Devin Nunes bears down, Truth Social is released. Donald Trump's new social media venture, Truth Social, appears set to launch in Apple's App Store on Monday, according to posts from an executive on a test version viewed by Reuters. If the schedule holds, it would mark the return of the former president to social media on the U.S. President's Day holiday. In a series of posts late on Friday, a verified account for the network's chief product officer, listed as Billy B, answered questions on the app from people invited to use it during its test phase. One user asked him when the app, which has been available this week for beta testers, would be released to the public. The executive responded, quote, "We're currently set for release in the Apple App Store for Monday, February 21st. The launch would restore Trump's presence on social media more than a year after he was banned from Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube following the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol by his supporters, after he was accused of posting messages inciting violence." Trump Media and Technology Group, the venture behind Truth Social, is currently led by self-proclaimed dairy farmer, crank, and former Republican U.S. Representative Devin Nunes. Truth Social appears to be a Twitter clone, but with the addition of former President Donald Trump and the deletion of Jack Dorsey. The irony here is that Nunes is fond of free speech as long as it isn't critical of him. Nunes has filed multiple defamation lawsuits against people and media who have said things that Nunes doesn't like. Most of the suits have been dismissed, and Nunes has yet to prevail in any of them. The double irony is that in 2018 Nunes supported the Discouraging Frivolous Lawsuits Act. On December 31, 2019, Nunes, through his lawyer, issued a letter that threatened litigation against Representative Ted Lieu based on alleged damage to Nunes's reputation. Lieu responded, quote, "I welcome any lawsuit from your client and look forward to taking discovery of Congressman Nunes. Or, you can take your letter and shove it." Truth Social will join a growing portfolio of technology companies that are positioning themselves as champions of free speech and hope to draw users who feel their views are suppressed on platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So far, none of the companies, which include Twitter competitors Getter and Parler and video site Rumble, have come close to matching the popularity of their mainstream counterparts. February 21st is the 52nd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. 313 days remain until the end of the year. Today is also President's Day in the United States. President's Day, officially Washington's birthday, is a holiday in the United States celebrated on the third Monday of February to honor all persons who served in the office of President of the United States, and a federal holiday specifically honoring George Washington, who led the Continental Army to victory in the American Revolutionary War, presided at the Constitutional Convention of 1787, and was the first President of the United States. The day is a state holiday in most states, with official names including Washington's birthday, President's Day, and Washington's and Lincoln's birthday. The various states use 15 different names. Depending upon the specific law, the state holiday may officially celebrate Washington alone, Washington and Lincoln, or some other combination of U.S. presidents, such as Washington and Thomas Jefferson, the latter of whom was born in April. Washington's birthday was celebrated on February 22nd from 1879 until 1971, when the romantically named Uniform Monday Holiday Act moved it to the third Monday in February, which can occur from February 15th to the 21st. The day eventually also became known as President's Day, although the placement of the apostrophe, if any, varies, and is most often an occasion to remember all U.S. presidents or to honor Abraham Lincoln's and Washington's birthdays together. Now it's time for On This Date in History. On this date in 1804, the first self-propelling steam locomotive makes its outing at the Penydarren Iron Works in Wales. On this date in 1828, initial issue of the Cherokee Phoenix is the first periodical to use the Cherokee syllabary invented by Sequoyah. On this date in 1848, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels published the Communist Manifesto. The Communist Manifesto summarizes Marx and Engels' theories concerning the nature of society and politics, namely that in their own words, quote, "The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles." It also briefly features their ideas for how the capitalist society of the time would eventually be replaced by socialism. In the last paragraph of the manifesto, the authors call for a, quote, "forcible overthrow of all existing social conditions," which served as a call for communist revolutions around the world. On this date in 1866, Lucy Hobbs Taylor becomes the first American woman to graduate from dental school. On this date in 1878, the first telephone directory is issued in New Haven, Connecticut. The directory simply listed 50 individuals, businesses, and other offices in New Haven that had telephones. The directory was not alphabetized and no numbers were associated with the people included in it. In 1879, Dr. Moses Greeley Parker suggested the format of the telephone directory be changed so that subscribers appeared in alphabetical order and each telephone be identified with a number. Dr. Parker came to this idea out of fear that Lowell, Massachusetts' 4 operators would contract measles and be unable to connect telephone subscribers to one another. On this date in 1947, Edwin Land demonstrates the first instant camera, the Polaroid Land camera, to a meeting of the Optical Society of America. On this date in 1965, Malcolm X is assassinated while giving a talk at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem. Malcolm X was an African-American Muslim minister and human rights activist who was a prominent figure during the civil rights movement. A spokesman for the Nation of Islam until 1964, he was a vocal advocate for black empowerment and the promotion of Islam within the black community. On this date in 1995, Steve Fawcett lands in Canada, becoming the first person to make a solo flight across the Pacific Ocean in a balloon. Today is also International Mother Language Day. Mother Language Day is part of a broader initiative to promote the preservation and protection of all languages used by peoples of the world, as adopted by the UN General Assembly on the 16th of May 2007. The idea to celebrate International Mother Language Day was the initiative of Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, the 21st of February is the anniversary of the day when the people of Bangladesh fought for recognition for the Bangla language. Celebrating birthdays today are businessman David Geffen, actress Tyne Daly, politician Olympia Snow, singer-songwriter Mary Chapin Carpenter, actor Kelsey Grammer, actor Christopher Atkins, novelist Chuck Palahniuk, actor William Baldwin, astronaut and Senator Scott Kelly, actress Jennifer Love Hewitt, actor Jordan Peele, and actress Melanie Laurent. Happy birthday to all of them, and if your birthday is today, a very happy birthday to you as well. By the way, if you or someone you know is having a birthday and would like us to announce it on the show, leave us a voice message or send an email. The links are in the show notes. Today's news was brought to us by Reuters and the website that wipes away the Monday blues, Wikipedia. If you have a comment or a question about anything you've heard today, or if you have a suggestion, please send us a note at I wrote this news, all one word, at thatradioshow.com. That email address one more time is I wrote this news, all one word, at thatradioshow.com.
One more thing, if this podcast sounds a little funny, that's because it's also an experiment. All of the vocals were generated using AI technology. Hopefully the show will sound different and better as the tech improves and as we improve at using it. I'm Bob Meese, hoping you have an amazing day. We'll get together again soon.